what's up guys, Syed here. Today I am in the 2020 Skoda Superb L&K variant and I have the owner Sharath beside me. By the way, Sharath is a first time car owner, okay, and he's so lucky he's able to get a Skoda Superb, the highest end variant, L&K variant, as a first car. Yeah, so congrats by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, this is the 2020 Skoda Superb L&K edition. If you are curious, L&K stands for Laurin and Klement. So Laurin and Klement, they are Skoda's founders. So this is kind of like a tribute sort of for them. According to Skoda, L&K version cars are designed specifically for those demanding maximum comfort, with all the hallmarks of exclusivity. The car is stamped with the Laurin and Klement badge on all sides. So throughout this video, you'll see the L&K badges like outside the car, inside, on the seats here, and it just makes the whole car look very, very premium. Okay, so right now in Singapore, only the Skoda Kodiaq and this Skoda Superb comes with the L&K trim, as in they have the L&K trim available for these two models only. And the regular Superb starts at about 139k, while this L&K trim Skoda Superb starts at about 154k. So for 15k price premium, you do get quite a lot of extra features. The more prominent ones are the panoramic sunroof, the L&K inscription. Okay, this one, the leather is different, is it? In this
Yeah, it's a premium leather.
Compared to the regular. Yeah. Power front seats, memory seats as well. Yeah, memory seats here, and they are ventilated also.
Yeah, got ventilated seats.
Ventilated. Okay, you get ambient lighting as well, pedal shifters, virtual cockpit like the one you get in, you know, Audis, Columbus navigation system, which I'm guessing this is the one.
Yeah, it's Canton sound so you can see
Canton.
the speakers
Yeah,
here.
Canton sound system, which is a German brand by the way. And you get park assist, dynamic chassis control, and adaptive cruise control. Yeah. So in both variants of the Skoda Superb, you get the same engine, the 2-litre turbocharged engine producing 190 horsepower, 320 Newton meters of torque. This car does 0 to 100 in about 7.7 seconds, front wheel drive, and comes with a 7-speed DSG transmission. By the way, before we start the interview, I just want to say that Skoda has one of the shortest brochures I've ever seen out of any car company. It's only 4 pages long, and the last page just says book a test drive and feel the difference. So they are very smart. Make you come down to the showroom to test drive and feel the car. Alright, so let's get on straight to the review. Alright, so Sharath, tell us, why did you buy this car and why Skoda?
Okay, so actually, you know, as a first time car owner, you know, before you buy any big purchase, I did a lot of research.
Yep.
Went to internet, was looking at all the reviews, and like a typical, you know, Singaporean who always look for top 10 cars to buy in Singapore, you know, that kind of thing. And I think Skoda's RS245 came up in a lot of reviews, especially in the Straits Times list. I think it was in the top 10 cars as well. Okay. So that actually got me to the Skoda's showroom. Okay. But when I went to the Skoda showroom, this car was parked right at the entrance, and it looked really good at the entrance, right? So I was having trouble keeping my eyes off this car whilst I was looking at the RS245, like, which I was quite interested in. But I guess when I actually did the test drive for the RS245 first, yeah, it was really powerful, really great car to drive. But I had my dad and my wife with me, and they didn't really look very comfortable when I was driving. And at the same time, yeah, the RS245 didn't really, I couldn't really gel with it. Okay. So, you know, I immediately did a test drive for this Skoda Superb. Okay. And I felt like the engine or the performance wasn't really that far off. You know, for a really heavy car, it really pulled quite quickly, and the sales guy was very clever. Like, he immediately put me in sports mode and asked me to just ramp. And yeah, it felt quick and it felt like a tank. So I was like, okay lah, I was quite sold lah. Yeah, interesting. So that's what got me to buy this L&K, and I actually booked the car on the same day as the test drive. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Did this appeal to you more than the RS245, obviously?
When I went down physically, this appealed to me a lot more.
But before you went down,
it was RS245. Like yeah. I was pretty sure I was gonna get the RS245, but I don't know, when I sat in it, and in fact I think my family, when they were sitting around trying around, they didn't even move away from this car. I was trying to get their attention onto the car that I want to buy, but they didn't really care. So
no choice lah.
No, yeah lah. If the family says okay, go for this, I also decide okay, just go for it lah.
Okay. And then like if you don't mind sharing, like you've owned this car for 5 weeks already, right?
For 5 weeks, yes.
5 weeks. And how much did you pay for it? Was there any like promotions or whatsoever for this?
Okay, so I got it basically during the phase 2 period of the circuit breaker, and I think at that point of time I felt like many showrooms were pretty keen to negotiate.
They were open to negotiate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. After 2 months of closure, and I did get a very good price for this car. It was in the range of I would say 130 to 140, right, for this car. And at the same time, I didn't feel the sales guy was too pushy. He explained to me the features pretty well, and to me, I just felt like for a car with these many bells and whistles, with this kind of performance, the kind of price range was very much a value for money kind of purchase. Yep. And I think Skodas are very, very famous for giving that value.
Not in Singapore, maybe overseas.
Overseas, yeah. So like I was telling you before, I spent about 2 years in India before my national service, and I think that's where Skodas are very popular. And I kind of knew that they are still quite a good brand.
You mentioned that over there they are chauffeur-driven.
Oh yes, so
mostly chauffeur-driven.
Skoda, yeah, mostly you get chauffeur-driven. Skodas are.
Okay, understand.
So yeah, I think I always knew that this car or Skodas to be very, I would say, backseat passenger comfort, heavy lah. So yeah.
Understand. You want to give a shout out to your salesman for?
Yeah, sure. You can look for Ryan at Skoda Center. Pretty good guy.
Ryan, okay. Also, you mentioned, I think you are the first person in Singapore to get this Skoda Superb in the LNK variant.
Yes. Yeah. So when I was looking at the car cost update sheet of cars registered in July, this was the only LNK registered besides one other Superb.
I'm lucky enough to be in the first, probably the first registered Skoda Superb LNK in Singapore. And okay, so what do you like about this car?
Okay, I honestly, it feels very sturdy when you drive. I think you can also feel it, and at the same time, the comfort mode, which I'm not sure if you have engaged it, is really comfortable. That's one thing. And the other thing about this car that I really like, again, I went for the virtual cockpit. Okay. It's the resolution is not as dim, and it's actually quite nice to drive, and especially when you go into sports mode, it just leaps off. So it has that comfortable kind of a setting. At the same time, when you go into sports, you can still get the performance out of it. So
different personalities.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So when you're driving people around, obviously you're always in comfort mode because you want them to be comfortable all the time. But when you're by yourself, you just unleash the whole the beast. Okay. So yeah, the car is it allows you to be both people at the same time. Yeah.
Before we unleash the beast, we need to turn off auto start stop.
Yeah. So honestly, but the auto start stop, I've driven Nissan before, which had that, and I think my friend's BM as well. The auto start stop doesn't really feel.
Yeah, it's not. I noticed. Not as intrusive as in other cars.
You don't really feel it.
You don't. I only when we stopped for the second or third time, then I realized that it was on actually.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's thumbs up lah. Thumbs up. Okay, so next, what do you dislike about this car?
I would say definitely would be the positioning of the navigational head unit. It's a bit low. So your eyesight have to go down, and I think they didn't really think through the whole thing because even your buttons are on the left side. So you have to. I'm not someone with very long hands, so I have to stretch over and press this.
Maybe because it was left-hand drive.
I think so. Yeah, quite likely.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of cars nowadays have like both sides, lah. So I think they only went for left, so it was I think that's pretty much the biggest thing that I dislike lah.
Okay.
Other than that, it's quite and yeah, I mean again, I as a first time car owner, so I think I just went for the color black because it looks really nice.
Okay.
But yeah, I realized
it looks good in black, right?
Yeah, it looks good in black, but I guess it's not that easy to maintain. Swirl marks can be quite obvious in this car, and I think even the piano black finish, it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet lah. I think you can already see. Yep. So I do tend to spend quite a bit of time every week just wiping stuff. Yeah. Okay, so that's a small little dislike, I would say.
So just those two lah.
Those two are the bigger ones. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's really not much to be very honest.
But again, I've only driven the car for 5 weeks, so yeah. And you have that cease error that just popped up recently. So not a big deal, but it's just.
So there's a
side
assist error light. So probably a sensor that's faulty or something. Not a big issue lah. To be very honest. And also I don't think I'll be driving fast whatsoever because Don't know whether you can tell it's raining outside.
Yeah, raining.
So yeah, just gonna be just a regular drive, you know, around this area of Singapore.
Which is a pity, trust me.
Yeah, but I mean,
this car really goes quite fast.
Let's say, you know, somebody is looking to get this car. Do you have any advice for them?
Okay, in terms of tips for new owners, again, I would say bring your family with you when you you know, get a car like this, or are looking for a, you know, a luxury sedan kind of a variant, because I honestly feel that when you try different cars, the backseat passengers will be able to tell you a lot more about whether this car is really for them or not.
Like right? For you, when you're enjoying the RS245, but your family suffering
exactly.
in the back. Okay,
so if my family wasn't there, I would have probably just gone ahead with the RS245. But when I
get back home, they're gonna
gonna
slaughter you. Okay.
So,
that's true.
So I think definitely for a car like this, it's good to have a family around. Yeah.
Okay. Very useful tips right there.
Yeah.
Very useful.
I'm a family guy, so
Okay. Just my overall thoughts. The interior reminds me a bit of Seat, but it's a bit more premium. But maybe because this is the high-end, you know, Skoda Superb, so can't really compare. But just you know, like this part here, the sides here, and the top here. But the ones below, this reminds me of Seat. Then below it is all very Volkswagen-like.
Yeah,
very You cover the badge, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you ask people to guess, they'll probably tell you it's a Volkswagen.
It's like a Passat or
Passat, something like that. It's a newer Volkswagen. Yeah. I don't feel the size of the car when I'm driving also. I don't feel the size. It's also quite quiet, like what you mentioned. Really quiet. And if you look at the back, right, it looks like almost like a 7 Series S-Class kind of feel in the back, because you have the thigh support, and you know, Sharath put the curtains at the side. So it gives a very kind of like atas premium kind of feeling, but you're not paying a premium price.
That's the thing. I mean, the legroom is really fantastic at the back. You know, my family is not very tall, so they're actually able to just stretch their legs out and actually be very comfortable in long rides. And for this car, actually, I mean, before I bought this car, I was actually renting a car every other month going to Malaysia. So I love going to long road trips into Malaysia, and I realized, you know, having the backseat passengers comfortable, it makes your road trip a lot easier. So I'm really waiting for this, you know, circuit breaker, all this Malaysian the movement control order to be over, so that I can go and enjoy the road trips.
I think that's what most Singaporeans are waiting for.
I think everybody's dying for it.
And then you know, talking about the features, this car is quite feature packed as well. And the leather is really I feel like it's very high quality leather. Really feels very high quality.
Actually, speaking of the features, right, one of the key features that I went for that made me choose to go for the LNK variant was the presence of adaptive cruise control, which the normal Superb did not have. And during one of my road trips in Australia, I kind of drove a car with ACC, and it actually makes your morning commute, especially on the expressway, very easy, because it actually just follows the car in front of you. And that's why I wanted that feature, because it also improves the mileage overall of the car, right? I can be a bit of a heavy-footed driver at times, so when I'm using the ACC, it just pulls you forward and you know, my office is in Changi while I live in Choa Chu Kang, so so you know, in the morning commute sometimes it can be a bit of a distance, so ACC really helps that's a good feature for me.
I think it's a bit pointless for me to go into sports mode, because I probably traffic isn't that good today, to be very honest.
You can go onto an expressway if you try
Yeah, sure. But sports mode, what's your experience like?
It can be, you know, it's still, it's not like RS245, you know, where it's like a mad dog. This one is still very much in the control, you know.
But it's powerful enough.
It's powerful enough. You can, in fact, it's, to me, when I drive, I always drive in sports mode. It's much more fun. If you realize the honest reality of driving comfort mode is it's a bit boring. It can be, the steering and all that is not very fun, I would say. Sport mode is definitely much more fun. And when you drive in comfort mode also, the suspension, right, it's a bit bouncy. Sports mode, at least you get that feel. You can feel some of the bumps. It gives you a bit more driver feel, I would say.
So one thing I want to point out, do you feel like you can feel the engine vibrations in the cabin?
Yeah, sometimes, right?
I can feel it in the pedals.
Sometimes it's there.
So I think that's
the engine mounting is
because I mean, it's a new car, so I don't think it's a mounting. I'm not. There are a few other cars that I drove where brand new ones also, where I felt the vibration. I felt the vibrations in the pedals. So you know, not exactly the best kind of feeling.
Yeah, you're right in that. You're right in that. And I think that's something that you know, there was also time when sometimes the aircon, you know, there's a bit juddery. Sometimes you can hear the vents shake a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
It does have that slight little kinks here and there, I would say.
Probably quality control.
Quality control issues. Like if you look at the back, my fake exhaust tips, right, the chrome thing, very easy to come off. You can feel the cheap. That cheap plasticky kind of you can feel there are certain parts
they cut costs
that reminds you that it is a Skoda after all. I'm not sure you want to put that in, but
it's recording by the way, so
okay. I leave it to you. But yeah, there's some things here and there, I would say.
So the question, how superb is the Superb? What's your
yeah, I love that question. It's I would say it's definitely very superb. It's very superb. I think so far everybody that I have driven around or who has tried my car has only had good experience. So, and I guess it's also because when you get into a Skoda, most Singaporeans don't really know what they're getting in for, and they you know, they're more used to the Mercs, BM, Audi kind of branding. So yeah, I think the lower expectations going in helps to sort of make the experience a lot more positive, right? True.
I mean, just for me personally, I think value for money. You're right. Value for money because of the features, the comfort. This you want to get this in like an Audi, BM, Mercedes. You're gonna be paying a lot more. Performance also adequate. No, I mean, I don't even have to drive fast. I can feel like the pull is there already. I think the downside, probably the branding not as strong yet in Singapore. If you're very particular about interior, right, then also maybe a drawback because you can see from here, you know, the interior of the car can't really match with like Audi, BM,
definitely.
And then last thing, I think this is the thing that I dislike the most. Probably the vibration. The vibration of the pedal, But other than that, I mean, if you don't really care about these three things, then I think this is an excellent choice, definitely. Anything else you want to share about your car?
Not really. I mean, I guess being a first-time car owner, it was quite a bit of an experience for me to get used to the length and the width of the car as well. Parking is something that I'm still getting used to. In this car, it comes with park assist. But I've only tried it.
Bird's eye view camera.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't have that bird's eye view thing. I haven't really tried it as well, but honestly, I've put in park assist a couple of times. It works, I would say, most of the time. Most of the time it does. But there are times when, you know, if there's too many cars by the side, then it gets confused, right? And but to be honest, I think that again, I think it's more of like just getting used to driving kind of a thing more than this specific car for me, but yeah, you're right in the sense that even though it looks like a very big car, it doesn't feel like but it still feels sturdy. You know, like when you close the door, when you hold the door, it's heavy, sturdy. So I had test driven Japanese cars before I bought this one. So you know, that sturdy feel is something that I really did like.
Okay. So that's about it, guys, for this review. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.